Student, welcome to online classes. Our channel and to subscribe it and hit click bell icon for getting all channel notifications. Hope you all are fine. Be safe and keep others safe. Dear students, your chapter is the Mauryan Empire. The Mauryan Empire is the first empire of India. It was founded by Chandragupta Maurya. The empire covered a large of India which included Bihar, Odisha, Bengal, western and northwestern India and parts of Deccan. In fact, excluding Kerala, Tamil Nadu and parts of northeastern India. Mauryans ruled over the whole of the Indian subcontinent. Moreover, all the power was in the hands of the emperor, who ruled from the capital Pataliputra. After that, source of information which is related to the Mauryans, Megasthenes. Megasthenes was the Greek ambassador of Seleucus Nicator. He was in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. He gives us valuable information about the political, economic, and social conditions of that time in the book named Indica. Indica is written by Megasthenes. Another important source for this period is a book named Arthashastra. It was written by Kautilya or Chandragupta, Chanakya. Kautilya or Chanakya was the advisor of Chandragupta Maurya. The book Arthashastra tells us about the political, economic, and military administration of the Mauryans. Chandragupta Maurya, the empire builder. When Alexander, the world famous Greek, Nandas were ruling Magad, their rule had become unpopular, taking advantage of an ambitious youth named Chandragupta Maurya. He succeeded in overthrowing the Nandas and in founding the Mauryan dynasty. His guide and mentor was a Brahmin named Kautilya. He was the author of Arthashastra. The Mauryan Empire was the first empire in the Indian history. After that, next emperor was Ashoka. Ashoka was the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya and son of Bindusar. He succeeded Bindusar in 273 BC. He was the greatest of the Mauryan rulers. Ashoka's inscriptions. Ashok was the first Indian king and perhaps the first king in the world to speak directly to his subjects. Through his inscriptions, which carried his message, these inscriptions engraved on rocks and pillars. These inscriptions are found all over his vast empire. They were generally placed on the highways so that people could read them. They were written in Brahmi script for large part of India. Second, Kharoshti script. It was for western part, and Armenic script, that is for Afghanistan. Common languages of the region were used to reach out to the people. These inscriptions seem to indicate that Asoka was generally interested in reaching out to his subjects. The inscriptions tell us about the policies of Asoka. In Asoka's inscriptions, he is known by his titles Devanam Priya. Devanam Priya means beloved of the gods, and Piyadasi. Piyadasi means pleasant to behold. The following inscription relates to Kalinga. Kalinga, it was to happened in 261 BC. Asoka fought only one major war during his reign with Kaling. His war with Kaling proved to be a turning point in his life. It seems that he was shocked to see the death and destruction caused by the war. The bloodshed and heavy massacre took place during the war brought great suffering to the people. The reason was that Asoka felt much grief and remorse, so he gave up war and decided to spread the message of love, peace, and brotherhood. He is the only king in the history of the world who had the moral courage to give up war. After that, we describe about Asoka's Dhamma. After the Kaling War, Asoka embraced Buddhism. As a follower of Buddhism, Asoka gave up war and physical conquest and adopted the policy of cultural conquest. This policy of peace and welfare is known as Dhamma. Dham is a Prakrit word which means dharma in Sanskrit. Dhamma was not based on any one particular religion. It was a code of conduct promoting social and moral values. Asoka wanted to inculcate the spirit of live and let live in his subjects. Dhamma taught eternal values like respect for elders, compassion towards animals, charity to the poor, ahimsa or non-injury to all living beings. Some steps taken by Asoka to spread Dhamma. Based on Dhamma, Asoka adopted the role of a father to his subjects. He looked upon his subjects as his children. He instructed his officials to take care of his people. Special officers were appointed called Dhamma Mahamatraj. They were spreading the message of Dhamma among his subjects. Asoka sent messengers to spread ideas about Dhamma to other countries such as Syria, Egypt, Greece, and Sri Lanka. The objective of Asoka's Dhamma was to preserve social order and harmony. Asoka's place in history. Asoka was certainly one of the greatest rulers of the ancient world. He was perhaps the first ruler who gave up physical conquest or war and instead adopted the method of cultural conquest or Dhamma Vijay. As a Buddhist, he sent his son Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra to Sri Lanka to preach Buddhism. Now, administration of the Mauryans, it must have been a very difficult work to rule such a big empire. But Chandragupta Maurya laid down some basic guidelines for administration. First, the emperor was the final decision maker, but he was also helped by a council of ministers. Second, the empire was divided into many provinces, each placed under a prince of the royal family, who could be trusted and be loyal to the emperor. Third, Patilputra, Kausambi, Ujjain, and Taxila were important cities of the Mauryan Empire. According to Arthashastra, the administration of Patilputra was the capital of the Mauryans, was managed by 6 committees. These committees looked after sanitation, care of foreigners, registration of births and deaths, regulation of weight and measures. The most striking feature of Chandragupta Maurya's administration was the maintenance of a huge army. The army comprised of a 6 lakh infantry, 30,000 cavalry, 9,000 war elephants, and perhaps 800 chariots. Patalputra was well connected with all the parts of the empire by roads. The Mauryans also had efficient spy system to keep an eye upon all the objectives. Now we describe the Mauryan art and architecture. Ashoka's personal religion was Buddhism. Many stupas and vihars were built during the Mauryan period. Rock cut caves were made into vihars during the Mauryan period. The best known are at Varavar and Nagarjun hills near Gaya in Bihar. Another unique contribution of the Mauryans were the highly polished Ashokan pillars. Pillars were generally made out of single stones which had to be shaped and polished. The head of the pillar, called the capita, was crowned with figure of the bulls and lions. Another important thing, decline of the Mauryan Empire. After Ashoka's death, he died in 232 BC. The Mauryan Empire weakened and disintegrated. The successors of Ashoka were not very capable and they could not control the vast Mauryan Empire. Gradually, the distant provinces started breaking away. Perhaps enough taxes could no longer be collected to maintain a large army and so many officers in the Mauryan administration. The last Mauryan of this period was Brihadarat. He was killed by his commander in chief. The name was Pushyamitra Sung in 185 BC, and the Mauryan Empire came to an end. Very important thing, the stone pillars of Asoka were carved out of rock and polished like metal. They had beautifully carved animal figures on top called the capital. Our national emblem is the replica of the capital of Sarnath. Its lion capital was now become the national emblem of India. Thank you.